विदुरम्बुवाहान्
ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान्
वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरु वर्यभूम्ना
वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरु वर्यभूम्ना
अव्यक्तमाहुर्हृदयं मनश्च
अव्यक्तमाहुहृदयं मनश्च
स चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोश
चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोश
ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान्
ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान्
वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरु वर्यभूम्ना
वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरु वर्यभूम्ना
अव्यक्तम् आहुर्हृदयं मनश्च
अव्यक्ताहुहृदयं मनश्च
स चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोश
स चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोश
ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान्
ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान्
वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरु वर्यभूम्ना
वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरु वर्यभूम्ना
अव्यक्तमाहुर्हृदयं मनश्च
अव्यक्ताहुहृदयं मनश्च
स चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोश
स चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोश ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान्
विदुरम्बुवाहान्
वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरु वर्यभूम्ना अव्यक्तमाहुहृदयं मनश्च स चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोश ईशस्य केशान् विदुरम्बुवाहान् वासस्तु सन्ध्यां कुरु वर्यभूम्ना अव्यक्तमाहुहृदयं मनश्च स चन्द्रमा सर्वविकारकोश
हरि ओं तत्सत् ओं Translation and purport by His Divine Grace of Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Synonyms. Ishasya of the Supreme Controller.
Ishasya of the Supreme Controller.
Keshan, hairs on the head. Vidu, you may know it from me.
Vidu, you may know it from me.
Ambuvahan, the clouds which carry water.
Ambuvahan, the clouds which carry water.
Vasatu, the dress.
Vasatu, the dress.
Sandhyam, termination of day and night.
Sandhyam, termination of day and night.
Kuru Varya, O best of the Kurus.
Kuru Varya, O best of the Kurus.
Bhumna of the Almighty.
Bhumna of the Almighty.
Avyaktam, the prime cause of material creation.
Avyaktam, the prime cause of material creation.
Ahu, it is said.
Ahu, it is said.
Hrudayam, intelligence.
Hridayam, intelligence.
Mana, cha, and the mind.
Manacha, and the mind.
Sa, he.
Sahi,
Chandrama, the moon.
Chandrama, the moon.
Sarva Vikara Kosha, the reservoir of all changes.
Sarva Vikara Kosha, the reservoir of all changes.
Translation, please repeat after me. O best amongst the Kurus,
O best amongst the Kurus,
the clouds which carry water are the hairs on his head.
the clouds which carry water are the hairs on his head.
The terminations of the days or nights are his dress.
The terminations of days or nights are his dress.
And the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence.
And the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence.
His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes.
His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 35. Vijnana Shaktim Mahima Mananti
Vijnana Saktim Mahima Mananti
Sarvatmano Antakaranam Kiritram
Sarvatmano Nantakaranam Giritram
Asha Ashvasvatariustragajanakani
Asvasvatariustragajanakani
Sarve Mruga Pashavasroni Deshe
Sarve Mriga Pashavasho Nideshe
Vijnana Shaktim Mahima Mananti
Vijnanam Saktim Mahima Mananti
Sarvatmanonta Garanam Giritram
Sarvatmanonta Karanam Giritram
Asvasvatiriustragajanakani
Asvasvatariustragajanakani
Sarve Mruga Pashavasro Nideshe
Sarve Mriga Pashavasho Nideshe
Vijnana Shaktim Mahima Mananti
Mahima Mananti
Sarvatmanonta Karanam Giritram
Sarvatmanonta Karanam Giritram
Asvasvatriustragajanikani
Asvasvatariustragajanakani
Sarve Mruga Pashavasro Nideshe.
Sarve Mriga Pashavasho Nideshe
Yeah.
Vijnana Shaktim Mahima Mananti
Shakti Marimanananti
Sarvatmano Antakaranam Giritram Ashvasvatari Ustragajanakani Sarve Mriga Pashvasho Nideshe Vijnana Saktim Mahima Mananti Sarvatmanonta Karanam Giritram Asvasvatariustragajanakani Sarve Mriga Pashavasho Nideshe
Synonyms. Vijnana Shaktim, consciousness.
Jnana Shaktim, consciousness.
Mahim, the principle of matter.
Mahim, the principle of matter.
Amananti, they call it so.
Amananti, they call it so.
Sarva Atmana of the omnipresent.
Sarva Atmana of the omnipresent.
Antakaranam, ego.
Antakaranam, ego.
Giritram Rudra Shiva.
Rudram Rudra Shiva.
Ashwa horse.
Ashwa horse.
Ashwatari mule.
Ashwatari mule.
Ustra camel.
Ustra camel.
Gaja elephant.
Gaja elephant.
Nakarni nails.
Nakhani nails.
Survey all other. Murga stags.
Mriga stags.
Pashava quadrupeds.
Pashava quadrupeds.
Shronideshe on the region of the belt.
Shronideshe on the region of the belt.
Translation, please repeat after me. The principle of matter Mahatattva is the consciousness of the omnipresent Lord.
The principle of matter, Mahat Tattva, is the consciousness of his omnipresent Lord.
As asserted by the experts, and Rudradeva is his ego.
As asserted by the experts, and Rudradeva is his ego.
The horse, mule, camel, and elephant are his nails.
The horse, mule, camel, and elephant are his names.
And wild animals and quadrupeds are situated in the belt zone of the Lord.
And wild animals and all quadrupeds are situated in the belt zone of the Lord.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 36. Vayyamsi tadvyakaranam vichitram.
Vayyamsi tadvyakaranam vichitram.
Manurmanisha manujo nivasa.
Manor Manisha Manujo Nivasa.
Gandharva vidyadhara charanapsara.
Gandharva Vidyadhara Charana Prasha.
Swaram smritir asurani kavirya.
Swara Smitira Surani Kavirya.
Vyamsi tadvyakaranam vichitram.
Vayamsi Tadvyakaranam Vichitram.
Manurmanisha manujo nivasa.
Manor Manisha Manuja Nivasa.
Gandharva vidyadhara charanapsara.
Gandharva Vidyadhara Charana Prasara.
Svarasmritirasurani kavirya.
Swara Smitira Shurani Kavirya.
Vayamsi tadvyakaranam vichitram.
Vayamsi Tadvyakaranam Vichitram.
Manurmanisha manujo nivasa.
Manor Manisha Manujo Nivasa.
Gandharva vidyadhara charanapsara.
Gandharva Vidyadhara Charanashpara.
Svarasmritir asura anikavirya.
Swara Smitira Shurani Kavirya.
Yeah.
Vayamsi Tadvyakaranam Vichitram. Manor Manisha Manujo Nivasa. Gandharva Vidyadhara Charanashpra. Smitera Shuranika Virya. Vayamsi Tadvyakaranam Vichitram. Manor Manisha Manujo Nivasa. Gandharva Vidyadhara Charanapsha. Swara Smitera Shuranika Virya.
Vayamsi, varieties of birds.
Vayamsi, varieties of birds.
Tad vyakaranam, vocables.
Tadvyakaranam, vocables.
Vichitram, artistic.
Vichitram, artistic.
Manu, the father of mankind.
Manu, the father of mankind.
Manisha, thoughts.
Manisha, thoughts.
Manujha, mankind, the sons of Manu.
Manuja, mankind, the sons of Manu.
Nivasa, residence.
Nivasa, residence.
The Gandharva, the human beings named Gandharvas.
Gandharva, the human beings named Gandharvas.
Vidyadhara, the Vidyadharas.
Vidyadhara, the Vidyadharas.
Charana, the Charanas.
Charana, the Charanas.
Apsara, the angels.
Apshara, the angels.
Swara, musical rhythm.
Swara, musical rhythm.
Smriti, remembrance.
Smriti, remembrance.
Asura Anika, the demoniac soldiers.
Ashura, Anika, the demoniac soldiers.
Virya, prowess.
Virya, prowess.
Translation, please repeat after me. Varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic sense.
Varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic sense.
Manu, the father of mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence.
Manu, the father of mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence.
And humanity is his residence.
And humanity is his residence.
The celestial species of human beings like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and angels.
The celestial species of human beings like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and angels.
All represent his musical rhythm.
All represent his musical rhythm.
And the demoniac soldiers are representations of his wonderful prowess.
And the demoniac soldier are representations of his wonderful prowess.
Purport.
The aesthetic sense of the Lord is manifested in the artistic, colorful creation of varieties of birds, like the peacock, parrot, and cuckoo. The celestial species of human beings, like the Gandharvas and Vidyadharas, can sing wonderfully and can entice even the minds of the heavenly demigods. The musical rhythm represents the musical sense of the Lord. How then can he be impersonal? His musical taste, artistic sense, and standard intelligence, which is never fallible, are different signs of his supreme personality. The Manu Samhita is the standard law book for humanity, and every human being is advised to follow this great book of social knowledge. Human society is the residential quarters for the Lord. This means that the human This means that the human being is meant for God realization and association with God. This life is a chance for the conditioned soul to regain his eternal God consciousness and thus fulfill the mission of life. Maharaja Prahlad is the right type of representative of the Lord in the family of Asuras. None of the living beings is away from the Lord's gigantic body. Each and every one has a particular duty in relation to the Supreme Body. Disruption in the matter of discharging the specific duty assigned to each and every living being is the cause of disharmony between one living being and another. But when the relation is re-established in relation with the Supreme Lord, there is complete unity between all living beings, even up to the limit of the wild animals and human society. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed this living in unity in the jungle of Madhya Pradesh, where even the tigers, elephants, and many other ferocious animals perfectly cooperated in glorifying the Supreme Lord. That is a way to peace and amity all over the world.
Hari Om. That's a very beautiful purport. Srila Prabhupada took us to Lord Chaitanya's wonderful pastimes in Jharkhand. Have you visited Jharkhand?
No, sir.
In the last year in the safari, we all went there and we practically saw the snake to tiger to deer, everybody's hoof print together. Not only in a small place, but the entire area to whatever extent your eyes can see. To that extent, the whole mountain we could see that a huge population of all varieties of animals and snakes and with legs, without legs, everything would have been dancing in ecstasy with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the center. It's an amazing scene. Gaurahari. So very, very, very wonderful. Very, 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 very wonderful. So we have seen few slokas today. The glance of the Supreme Lord, which we saw yesterday, the Supreme Lord casts his glance over the material energy. And his glance is agitating the three modes of nature. Then only the creation takes place from the Mahatattva. So the conclusion is that nature is not the cause of the material manifestation. The Supreme Lord is the cause of all causes. Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. This is very important. In Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 6 also we see Yadyan Niruktam Vachasa Nirupitam Diyakshabhirva Manas Sotayasya ma bhusvarupam gunarupami tattat savai gunapaya visarga lakshanam. Means anything expressed by material vibration, anything ascertained by material intelligence, and anything experienced by the material senses, or even concocted within the material mind, is but an effect of the modes of material nature, and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Dharma Karma cha mein divyam. His is everything transcendental. The Supreme Lord is beyond the creation of this material world, because he is the source of the material qualities and creation. So, he is cause of all causes, Sarva Karana Karanam. So, he exists before the creation, after the creation. So this is the status that we need to understand the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We also see in Bhagavatam, Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadibi Sambhutham Shodashakalam Adau Lokasi Srukshaya. About the creation, lot of information you will get. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation. Then he has manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And first, there was the creation of the 16 principles of material action. And this was the purpose of creating the material universe. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, is mentioned as Hetu. So, that means supreme cause of the creation, maintenance, and also annihilation of the entire cosmic situation. But still, there is no cause of the Lord himself, because he is a Hetu. So, in Brahma Samhita, we see Anadi Radhi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So, he is a cause of all the causes. He is a primeval cause of all the causes. And being the eternal absolute truth, he has no cause of himself. So, Srila Jiva Goswami explains the word Ahetu to indicate that the Supreme Lord has his original form as Krishna in his own transcendental abode called Krishna Loka. And since Krishna is always engaged in his blissful pastimes in the company of his eternally liberated associates, he is aloof from the affairs of this world. So this is created by his external potency, Maya. That's why it is stated, Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam. The Lord will expand himself as Narayana and then Vishnu in order to facilitate the gross illusion and the gradual rectification of the conditioned souls. So, the material creation is also described in the Vedas. Nathasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Absolute truth has nothing to do. Krishna's really has nothing to do, because everything is done self-sufficiently by his multipotencies. Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he has pointed out, even though the Supreme Lord Krishna is Ahetu, causeless, and aloof from the cause of material creation, he is also described in the verse as Hetu, that is the ultimate cause of the creation. maintenance and annihilation of the material manifestation, because it is he only who expands as Paramatma or the super soul, and he only who acts as the prime mover of the cosmic manifestation. This is very, very wonderful thing. So, because the Jiva Bhuta, they want to engage in sense gratification. Apareyam itastvam and prakriti vidime param. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho yayedem dharayate jagat. The conditioned living entities, Jiva Bhuta, they desire to engage in sense gratification with the material senses. Manasasthani indriyani prakritisthani garshati. So the creation of the material world becomes necessary for that. So that is how we should understand about this particular creation. And, you know, Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. We must understand, though we are studying in the Virat Rupa, different parts of the body represent the different material cosmic manifestation, but his body is different. Sachidananda Vigraha, his power is different, his potency is different. Different means that is all spiritual. Janma karma chame divyam. Everything is transcendental. The difference of spiritual matter, we can understand that spirit is the basic principle of movement of matter also. Because the spirit soul is within the body, therefore it is moving, otherwise the body will not move. Similarly, everything in material, if any kind of animation or survival you are seeing existence, it's because of the spirit potency of Krishna. Because the spirit soul is there within this body, therefore it is growing. So spirit soul is the basic. Well, we have seen so many children dead, not growing. Young dead, not growing. Old dead, not growing. Dead are not growing. But the spirit soul is there, it will grow. This is the important point. So God being full spirit, the whole spirit. So he is the basic principle of all cosmic manifestation, but he is a person. So these things are there in Bhagavad Gita also. Arjuna is telling it is very difficult to understand your personality. People are bewildered, but he is a person. In Katha Upanishad, in many other Upanishad, it is said Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. So the Supreme Personality of God, Lord Sri Krishna, he is eternal, and the living beings are also eternal. And Krishna is cognizant, and the living beings are also cognizant. The difference is that Krishna is supplying all the necessities of the life for the many other living entities. He is the chief eternal amongst all eternals. You can say that. Which means we living entities are also eternal, but he is the chief eternal. We are persons. He is the supreme person. He says, no, in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, myself, yourself, my dear Arjuna, and all these kings and soldiers who have come here, assembled here, they are all persons. They were all persons in the past, and they continue to be present in the future. And they are persons in the present. So we have to take it from that. So, absolute truth is one, just like the sun. Sunshine and the deity within the sun, that is one unit. But some portion is called sunshine, some portion is called sun planet, some portion is called the deity. Similarly, Krishna is vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sadhyate. So, he is also known in 3 different aspects. Supreme Brahman, one. His person, one. His localized position is also. So his influence and his energy, they're all one. This is the Suddha Advaita Vada, pure monism. Sankaracharya philosophy is also monism. Ramanujacharya will explain is, yes, one, but unity in diversity, that kind of oneness. So this is unity. The sun deity, sun planet, sunshine is one unit. But still there is diversity. The divisions of the sunshine is different from the sun planet, and the sun planet is different from the predominating deity in the sun planet. Try to understand this way. Then you will understand what is Paramatma, the super soul, the individual soul, the impersonal Brahman, and the personal Brahman. That's it. So, any questions or comments or realization, please do share with us. 5, 4, 3.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna.
So I have one question. Like since last few verses, we are seeing Supreme Lord eyebrows, thighs, backbone, everything. Like it is mentioned. It is hills, mountains, rivers, etc. So till now, like whatever we were reading, like in science and all, that living thing is only plants and trees, but others they will consider as non-living thing. So from this Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever we are reading, shall we consider like these are also living being, mountains, river?
Yes. Actually, it's a very good, deep question. Actually, there cannot exist a dead and a survive. It will be only in the elementary form. For example, if you see the water, earth, air, fire, ether, all these things in your experience is not individual element. In the water, there is air. In the water, there is ether. In the all five combination of this as a compound only you're seeing. Water also, earth also. But actually in the initial creation, there is an elementary portion. Water as element, which is not mixed with anything. And sky as element. Sound as the representative of the sky. And you have earth as element, air as element, but water you say H2O. At least our recognition is there is air in the water, but there are also earth in the water, fire in the water, everything is there in the water. So we are seeing the combination of all these things. So if this can be, actually it can never be combined. Dead means it cannot be combined at all. You are seeing something in combined form. That means that there are souls, unlimited souls. The rock, the whatever you are seeing as a non-living entities, they are also full of souls only, but totally undeveloped consciousness. Without soul, something cannot exist, survive. It will get into its elementary form. So that is the evidence. Everywhere there is soul, and where there is soul, there is Paramatma inside the soul's heart. So without him, nothing can even exist. What to speak of animate or inanimate? Both requires him. Inanimate is for our eyes only, it is inanimate. The rocks and all. But you will find that in some rock, within the rock also there are living entities. And that living entities, when they grow, the rock will also grow. So many times we have witnessed, we have in India, in so many Shiva temple, the Nandi, it is from the rock. But inside the Nandi, there is a living entity. So when it grows, the Nandi becomes big. And when the Nandi is growing, so people used to put a nail on the thigh of the Nandi. Some blood would come also. After that, it won't grow because inside the living entity is dead. Okay, this is the science. Everywhere there is living entity. There is no place where there is no living entity. So, with the living entity and within living entity, there is Supreme Lord. Otherwise, how can these things say the water as water, what we are seeing, consuming water? It is not the elementary water. This is a compound water. We can find only H2O, but there are more things in the water, H2O. Other than H2O, in the distilled clear water, other than H2O, hydrogen and oxygen, there is also earth, there is also fire, and there is also watery element is more. That's all. Watery element is more. Okay, then the next is the air element in that. And next is the earth element. And then fire, then ether. Everything is there in the so-called water. So our water, what in our experience is not the elementary water. Similarly, earth, water, fire, ether, whatever we are seeing, they are not in the elementary form we are seeing. In the elementary form, you will see as a 8 layer covering the entire universe. There it is in its elementary form. And Mahat Tattva is in its elementary form. After that, when the glance of Krishna is put, immediately it all become combined and it can, give shape, smell, all these things. This is because of Krishna's glance only. Otherwise, even though it appears to be inanimate. Inanimate does not mean dead. Okay. Inanimate is also living only. But the consciousness of the souls, unlimited souls, in a rock or in anything that is inanimate, is totally inert, zero. No conscious development. For example, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Puri, and when Jagannath displayed his sick pastimes, and Lord Chaitanya heard that for the next 14 days you cannot see Jagannath, he was not able to tolerate the separation from Jagannath and he was running mad. So where can he see Jagannath? Where is Jagannath? And he went to Alarnath. And in the Alarnath, as soon as he saw Alarnath, he saw only Jagannath there. Alarnath appeared as Jagannath. And as soon as he saw, out of ecstasy, he just fall on the rock. You would find that immediately the rock, wherever Lord Chaitanya's ecstatic mood touched the rock, all the rock at that place are melted. It is not out of heat. That living entities which are very inert, very lowest consciousness suddenly got the Krishna Prem in the touch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and it has become, enlivened and it start dancing, it start working. So you will find today also in the rock where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisances or fell, there you will find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's which portion of the body touched, all the places are gone into pitch like, you know. So these are all evidence, scientific evidence that everything is made up of only souls. Otherwise, it cannot even have its existence. That is why sometimes we say there's nothing called matter. So here it is zero consciousness, and human being are the most developed conscious being. Rest all other lower consciousness people are little conscious or no conscious. Inanimate means no conscious. Animate means less conscious. Human being is fully conscious. So that is why human being is the only form of life wherein you can become God conscious, you can become Krishna conscious, and you can claim your constitutional position back. Very nice question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one more question. In the purport, it is mentioned about the jungle of Madhya Pradesh. Like we got to know about the pastime of Jharkhand jungle. So, pastime happened in Madhya Pradesh jungle also.
Yeah, that is Jharkhand. Now it is all divided into different states, but at that time it was part of that, Madhya Pradesh.
Oh, okay.
So it is Jharkhand only, wherein all the animals have got together. So sometimes you can visit there, Jharkhand. It was on the way to Vrindavan from Puri. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was walking at that time in the Jharkhand jungle, he has danced and displayed the wonderful pastimes. Never ever took place in the history before. So wonderful. Ferocious animals perfectly cooperate in glorifying the Supreme Lord. They were chanting, animals were chanting Hare Krishna. It's impossible to believe, but it is the history. There's a potency of the Lord. Lord can make anything speak. Why animals will not speak? If it is Krishna's name. Because the Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala, there is no rules, regulation, Niyama or Kala or Desha or Patra or any body. Nothing is a constraint for chanting the holy name. If the soul is usurped with Krishna consciousness, whether the soul is in elephant body or snake's body, it can chant, vibrate Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is possible. That is the potency of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No rules, regulation does not mean only rules, regulation that is applicable to the human body. No. There is no rules, regulation, the entire material existence. You can be in any body and still you can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, Lord Chaitanya has proved it, that how it is beyond any kind of rules and regulations. So that is Jharkhand only.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you very much for the nice questions. So let's resume our class tomorrow morning sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna, sir. Even I have one question.
Yes, please.
Sir, like you told right now that in rocks or other like matter, soul is still there, but the consciousness is almost negligible or zero. So like the very property of the soul is to exhibit consciousness, and we understand that the living force itself is soul. So like I understand that the conscious level of consciousness decreases, and it's the highest in humans, and for the lower species it goes lower and lower. So like what kind of soul or is there in like rocks, you said, with a negligible consciousness, and then it is eternal, it is also not like it gets destroyed or created again. So the like souls also have like zero consciousness. Like what is the function of the soul then if it is not exhibiting any consciousness or like
Uttermost ignorance. The soul coming in contact with the modes of material nature. Which modes of material nature you are surrendering yourself unto fully, accordingly you will exhibit your body and activities. Guna karma vibhagasha. So uttermost ignorance. Little ignorance, you can become Ashura at least. Uttermost ignorance, you will become quite this thing, just like Mayavadis. They don't want to move at all. They want to just merge into impersonal Brahman. They want to just stay. They don't want a body, or they don't want a body that can act, animate. They are thinking that because of this animation only, we are suffering. So this kind of philosophers, they can get into a rock or anything, according to its own, because it has been given free will. So with which mode of nature or combination of modes of nature it is coming in contact, accordingly it will exhibit its conscious level. But for
okay.
Krishna conscious, there is no condition from which level you can become Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious can be given to totally inert soul which has zero consciousness exhibition capacity, even to that, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to the rock. Anything, every soul can become Krishna conscious simply by the sound vibration of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If it is a Suddha Nam, it has its potency.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you.
Good question again. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om
Yeah.
Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nithai Gaur Premanande. Hari 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 Bol. Thank you.